need here, huh? So you can see I got the center console positioned in place. Made up some brackets today. Got everything secured. And we got quite a bit of gap between the console and the dash. Now to make up that gap, I am making a little backing with some HVAC tape. It's aluminum tape. Works very well for fiberglass work, to make molds, things like that. So you can see I taped up the dash on this side, and we'll go around and show you the other side. Okay, here's the other side. You can see I wrapped up the console with that HVAC tape, and that keeps any fiberglass from sticking to the console. And then I'm just going to mask this off so I don't get any on my nice console. But this tape will come off pretty easily. The backing on it is not that sticky, but sticky enough to where it'll stay on there. You can see I made kind of a form, so I wrapped all of the panels so I can put fiberglass on top of it and it's not going to stick to it. And then I made a backing, so all this is going to be covered with fiberglass, and then I will shape it how I want and get a nice little mold out of there. So that is the start to it, and once I lay some fiberglass on it, I'll show you again and show you the process. Pulled off this outer layer of aluminum foil tape and got that shape already in there from when I made my mold. This is just a bunch of foam. I'm going to cut this down and start shaping this using a little drywall knife. This just cuts through it nice and quick to get through the bulk of it. And I will cut this down and shave it down. So as you can see, we got her kind of shaped in how I want it. Start drawing out where I want things located. Things like my air management system, fuel controller, boost, stuff like that. So whatever else I want in there, we'll kind of lay it out and see how I want it and see what I got to change in here. And yeah, get this thing covered in some fiberglass filler, get it sanded down smooth, everything located where I wanted, and get it painted up. I think I'm going to break it into 3 sections. Do this side piece up into here, and then have the center its own individual piece. See how all that turns out. But for now, I'm just gonna get this smoothed out how I want and start locating some of the accessories and things that I want to do. Alright, so we just pulled it off, slid the console back so we can start cleaning this up outside of the truck. But you can see how smooth of a surface that leaves. Perfect indentation of what it was on. And this stuff just peels off super easy. And I'll start smoothing everything out, and yeah, just cleaning everything up. Looks good though. Nice little start. Got her all taped up, bezel back on. Bought another one. It's gonna sit right in there, matching that curve of the dash, keeping those nice factory looking style lines on everything. And then I'll cut the center part, move it down, blend it in with this one, and that will give me my gap. Here we are, we got everything somewhat prepped up. As you can see, I cut this top piece, just cut it in half. We're gonna fill this with fiberglass and start molding this all in here. Fill up all these voids and smooth it in nice to the dash. Once we do that, and then I can start cutting the dash pad itself to fit around that. I put foil tape down underneath everything, filled in the void so there's not a lot of filler being used, just enough to make that outside bezel. And we'll clean all this up. I'm going to use some studs to come down through this top piece through the factory dash pad mounting holes. So that's how the top piece will be held. It's going to be attached to the lower bezel itself, so all this will be one piece that clicks in there. So there's the first coat. This is just laid in there to get the bulk of everything filled. Don't get discouraged if it doesn't look very good when you very first start. It's not gonna, you're just getting a rough idea of what's going on. Come back and hit this with a sander, knock down all the high spots real quick, and then we're gonna throw one more cut on this and build all these little low spots up. That way we can throw some body filler on here and fine tune everything and get it looking pretty. And that way we can paint it and everything to match the dash. Okay, as you can see, I sanded everything down. We'll go ahead and throw down a good layer on top and get ready to start final shaping this with body filler, cutting the dash pad to fit in this nice little area that we've got. Got some lightweight body filler on it to fill all these low spots that I had. Now I'm going to pull all this off in one piece. Pull it out. Just got to be careful. Try not to put too much pressure in one spot. Kind of hard to do it one-handed. I'm just pulling it out slowly because it's adhered to that tape that I used for the mold. And then that's what you end up with. Clean all this mess up and sand that down, and we'll show you what it looks like before I paint it. Okay, there you have it. Doubled in the OBS. Still needs to be cleaned up a little bit. Final sanded, primered, and painted, but you get the basic idea of it. I'm gonna make up the brackets to hold the actual radio in there, but that'll be probably tomorrow's project. I think it turned out pretty good. Like the way it fits. Man, yeah, I just wanted to get it center console in there to see about what it's gonna look like. That's pretty cool if you ask me. Clean. It's gonna be a good look. Can't wait to get the ratchet shifter in here, get the center console all finished, the seats in, and I can start wiring and all that. I still need to put under dash AC unit so I can get rid of the AC blower and all that. Make a little more room for compound turbos, exhaust, and all that stuff under there. So still have a lot of work to do, but I think it's looking pretty good. All right, let's start to throw the gauges in there, kind of see what they look like. I don't hate it, but I'm not sure about it either. I have a lot going on in that center, but I think it'll look good. I'm also gonna have some pillar pods, a lot of gauges, but the Holly dash will pretty much read everything and data log everything, so not really necessary, but they do look cool. And I already have holes in the dash, so might as well run them. If I change my mind later on, I guess I can throw a dash pad on it or something. Got the center console back out. Just got this centerpiece cut out. We're gonna do a little recess. That way it's not just a plain flat center console. A lot more work, but I think it'll be worth it in the end. This will be dropped down, and this will be recessed back in slightly. But before I get too far, I'm going to show you what we got here. This is for our air ride suspension, airlift, air management, height system, and this is just to house the controller. This controller is going to sit somewhere in here, and we'll angle these a little bit. But that's just a 3D printed. It's plastic. Cool stuff we got. Nitrous Express, and this is their controller for the nitrous, and it's gonna sit down in here on this side. So we have nitrous, air ride, some switches and things in there, as well as I got it wrapped up. This is going to be a wireless phone charger because, you know, streetcar. For the Nitrous Express, I'm going to have to open this up So you got 4 screws on the back side. I'm going to use this front plastic piece as the housing in my dash. That way this will just screw to the back and be mounted that way. This will be a permanent piece. This outside will be a permanent piece of the center console. So kind of risky because these are expensive, but I think it'll turn out nice and be well worth the effort. I also got some switches from Billet Switches online. Pretty sweet custom stuff in there, so that hopefully will mount below my nitrous controller and give me some switches. Yeah, we'll find somewhere for these to go, but let's get all this mocked up and see what it's gonna look like. There we go, it's all fitted up. See the air ride controller, nitrous controller, and then I'll have switches down in here. So get this going with some fiberglass and come back. Alright, there you go. It's coming together. Got the shifter mounted in there. See how everything's going to flow together. Some of this may change. You got some more ideas flowing, but you can see the nitrous express will sit here. Air controller, making a nice little flat spot for my buttons right here. Still plan on having the wireless phone charger here just for convenience, and then here I'm going to install a Turbo Smart high pressure boost controller to moderate the wastegates and keep my boost under control and nice and accurate, so I can do my boost, my fuel, my nitrous all in this area. If I have enough room, I may do a transmission pressure and transmission temperature gauge down in here, just so I can keep tabs on that, and then I can get rid of the gauges on the dash and clean that area up. But we'll see how everything goes. For now, we're going to close out this video. Hopefully you guys like what I'm doing. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.